to my channel. As you guys know, I get really excited when I get approached by brands that I personally really enjoy to collaborate with. I've talked about this at length on my channel that I'm very, very picky when it comes to brands I will collaborate with. Obviously, they have to be cruelty free. They have to be a brand that I've used, maybe currently I use their stuff, or I've used their stuff in the past. And as I said, I'm really, really selective. That's why you don't see a lot of sponsored videos on my channel. But when I was approached to do this video with Kevyn Aucoin Beauty, it's one of those times where I couldn't wait to say yes, because of the fact that, first of all, Kevyn Aucoin, he sadly passed away in 2002, but he was a makeup artist whose career I was just in awe of. As anybody who kind of grew up in the time that I did, the 80s and 90s, especially as a makeup artist or an up-and-coming makeup artist, I just loved him. I adored him. He was like, it didn't get any better than Kevyn Aucoin. He worked with all the big supermodels of my time, Cindy Crawford. He worked with Janet Jackson and actresses like Gwyneth Paltrow. He worked on everybody. He was in an episode of Sex and the City. I mean, I can't even say enough good things about him. I was sent his book. They sent me his Making Faces book. He has actually done 3 books, and I already owned it. I was happy that they sent me one, but I already had it. And if you're ever looking for makeup inspiration, you have to look through one of Kevyn's books. He was just so beyond talented, and his death was such a loss to the makeup artist community, just to fashion and beauty in general. And his line, Kevyn Aucoin Beauty, actually came out, I believe, from what I understand, he was finishing the line before he passed away, and then it was brought out after that. And over the years, I have used quite a few things from the line. I've used the Sensual Skin Enhancer that I'm going to be demoing in this video. I've used the medium flesh tone lip pencil for years, the sculpting powder, the Candlelight highlight powder. I pretty much have all of the blushes in my makeup kit. When I had my boutique in Minnesota, Kevyn Aucoin was one of the brands I was really hoping that we could eventually get in the store. So the opportunity to work with this brand was just, it was a no-brainer. And I got super excited when I saw what they wanted me to review, which is the ElectroPOP Pro eyeshadow palette. When this first arrived in the mail and I opened it up, I literally gasped. This palette is so stunning, and it's unlike anything else I own. Like many of you, I would normally be pretty afraid of such a bold palette with such vivid colors and so many shimmers. And to be totally honest with you, the request for me to do a day to night look actually concerned me, because at first glance, you look at an all shimmer palette and you wonder, how am I gonna make this suitable for day? And then I started playing with the actual eyeshadows. There are 12 colors in here, and the formula is so unique. They're such a creamy texture, and they almost have a smoothing effect to the lid. So even if you have a little bit of texture on your eyelids, you can still use these. You can use these very sheerly, or you can get really intense pigment without even having to wet your brush. So I'm really impressed with this formula. I'm really excited that I was able to kind of step outside my comfort zone and try bold color. I'm really looking forward to playing around with different looks using this palette, and I can definitely film more tutorials using it if you are interested. It is limited edition, and up until now, it's only been available online. It will be available in store January 19th, which is before this video goes up. So by the time you see this video, it should be available at your local Sephora. So before we get to the day into night tutorial, I want to mention that Kevyn Aucoin Beauty is doing a giveaway. In the description box, you will see a link, which if you click on that, you can enter to win one of 5 prizes, which is an assortment of products from Kevyn Aucoin Beauty. So don't forget to enter that giveaway. It ends February 28th. All right, next up are swatches, followed by the full face tutorial. I'm gonna start from top to bottom. Here we have light. Next up is switch. And lastly is amp. And then we have beam, laser, and impulse. Beam, laser, and impulse. Then we have ultraviolet, heat, and hardwire. Ultraviolet, heat, hardwire. And then finally, we have Charge, Fuse, and Blackout. These shadows are creamy, pigmented, and of course the colors are just gorgeous. So let's get into the day to night makeup tutorial using the limited edition ElectroPOP Pro Palette from Kevyn Aucoin. So I'm starting off with a clean face, and I'm going to be using the Sensual Skin Enhancer in SX05. This is a very highly concentrated product, so you need to use a really, really small amount, and I like to apply it with my damp beauty blender. If you use this just with your fingers and blend it in, you're gonna get a very, very full coverage. It does a wonderful job at concealing, so I like that I can use it both as a foundation and as a concealer. If you have any sort of dark marks to cover on your skin, this will certainly do it. But then if you want a more natural look for the rest of your face, you can still do that by using a damp beauty blender, or you can add a little bit of your daily moisturizer, or perhaps an oil of some kind. I'm going to add a little bit of argan oil, just a little drop to the back of my hand. I'm just taking a little bit of the Sensual Skin Enhancer, and I am rubbing the two together on the back of my hand. And then I am bouncing it just the same way I always apply my foundation, bouncing it right onto my skin. And then once I've applied the foundation to my face, I like to take it over my eyelids as well to neutralize the discoloration up there. Now I do have an eyeshadow primer on as well. You can use any eyeshadow primer you like. I have to use an eyeshadow primer because of my oily lids, and just using some sort of concealer alone doesn't usually work on me. I have to use a separate eyeshadow primer. But then I like to go over, like I said, with my foundation and even out the lid color. So now that my brows and foundation are done, I'm going to be lightly setting my makeup with the Gossamer face powder in Diaphanous. And I like that it has this cover on top of this mesh insert, so the powder doesn't get everywhere if you want to travel with it or carry it around in your purse. And what I'm going to do is just take a big fluffy brush, push into the mesh insert, tap off any excess, and just lightly dust over my face. So, all right, so I haven't done my concealer because we're working with very pigmented shadows, pure pearl pigments, and sometimes they can get a little messy. So I recommend doing your eyes before concealer. You can even do your eyes before foundation. It's just a habit of mine. I like to have my foundation in first, but because typically if I have fallout, it's only right under the eye. So I'm gonna wait till the end to do my concealer, but let's start with the daytime eye. hope you guys enjoyed this day to night makeup tutorial using the ElectroPOP Pro eyeshadow palette. I hope that maybe it inspired you to use more bold color in your makeup looks, or perhaps even try shimmer during the daytime. If you did enjoy it, please give the video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and follow me on Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, and Twitter. All of those things are Risa Does Makeup. And of course, don't forget about the giveaway. Once again, that link is in the description box to enter. So thank you guys again for watching, and I'll see you very soon.